Good morning. This is Mrs. Merrill. Today we're going to be talking about Learning Target Objective 3.1, which is to evaluate numerical and algebraic expressions using order of operation rules. Our objectives for today are to, number one, simplify and evaluate formulas and expressions. 2, to add, subtract, multiply, and divide expressions with exponents. And 3, to simplify and evaluate expressions with grouping symbols. To do this, there are a couple definitions that I'd like us to look at. First of all, the term simplify. Simplify means that we're going to rewrite a numerical expression with its simplest name. An exponent, which is our second term, tells us how many times a number, referred to as the base, is used as a factor. The next term that you see on the slide is the word power, which really has two parts. With the power, we have the base, and then we have the exponent. And last, you're going to see the word evaluate in today's work. And if I ask you to evaluate an algebraic expression, that means that you're going to substitute in a given number for each variable in the expression. And then you'll simplify a numerical expression using order of operations. Let's take a look now at what the order of operation rules really are. You may remember a sentence back from your earlier math classes, "Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally." Well, if you remember that, each word in that sentence represents a specific mathematical operation. So the please represents parentheses or grouping symbols like braces and brackets. The excuse in the sentence is exponents. The my refers to multiplication. The dear is the D for division. Aunt is the addition, and then Sally refers to the operation of subtraction. Remember, in the order of operation rules, we do parentheses and exponents, then we do multiplication and division, whichever one comes first from left to right, then we do addition and subtraction, whatever comes first from left to right. Let's look at some examples now of simplifying a numerical expression. Look at simplify. 25 minus 8 times 2 plus 3 squared. Now, what do the order of operation rules tell me to do? Well, parentheses. Well, there aren't any, so I'm going to skip that. Then it says to do exponents. Well, look, there's an exponent on the end, 3 squared. So, what is 3 squared? That means 3 times 3, which is 9. And you'll notice the 3 squared now is replaced in the second line with 9. Then the order of operation rules tell me to do multiplication or division from left to right, and I see an 8 times 2. So I'm going to do that. 8 times 2, 16. Then I do addition and subtraction, and I do whichever one comes first. In this case, subtraction comes before the addition, so I'm going to do the 25 minus 16, which is 9, and then add the 9 on the end, which is 18. Now let's also look here at how this works with an algebraic expression. Notice it says evaluate 3a minus 2 cubed divided by b. So the first thing I have to do when I'm evaluating an algebraic expression is plug in the numerical value for the variable. So in place of a, we're putting 7, and in place of b, we're putting 4. You'll notice then in the third line we have 3 times 7 minus 2 cubed and then divided by 4. So what do we do first? Order of operation says do the exponent. So what is 2 cubed? That means 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. So you'll notice the 2 cubed is replaced with 8. Then the order of operation rules tell us to do multiplication and division as it appears from left to right. So we're going to do the 3 times 7, which is 21. And then we're going to do the 8 divided by 4, which is 2. Then we go back and do any addition or subtraction from left to right. So 21 minus 2 gives us 19. Now, this idea of using order of operation also applies when you're working with a real-world problem. So I would like you to take a look at this real-world example here, and you see that we have a story problem. Your favorite pair of sneakers are on sale for $59. There is a 6% sales tax in your state with any purchase. Find the total cost of the sneakers. So the formula for calculating total cost is C, the cost, equals the price of the item plus the rate times the price of the item. Now, when we plug in, remember what we do, we plug in the value, the numerical value into the formula. So here you see the P, which is the price of the item, is $59, and then the sales tax was 6%, which is 0.06, and then again the P is the price of the item, $59. Here you see then, in order to solve this problem, we're going to have to once again be able to use order of operation. So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to do the multiplication. There are no parentheses. Those parentheses are not grouping symbols there. Those are multiplication. They're standing for multiplication. So we have no parentheses and we have no exponents. So we're going to do multiplication and division as it appears from left to right. So I'm going to take the 0.06 times 59, which gives me that $3.54. And then I will go back and add, which gives me a grand total cost of $62.54. The next thing that I would like us to look at is an example of solving here, or simplifying, when we have parentheses. Now, take a look at this example. We have 15 times the quantity 13 minus 7 divided by the quantity 8 minus 5. Now, what do I do first? Well, remember, order of operations says to do parentheses first. So, what is 13 minus 7? Well, that's 6. You see that down there. And then what is 8 minus 5? And you see 3. Now then, we have 15 times the 6 divided by 3. Well, order of operation says to do multiplication and division as it appears from left to right. So I see that we have the multiplication first. So 15 times 6 gives me 90. And then divided by 3 gives me the 30. Now, let's look at an example where we're going to throw now in a question where we have to evaluate using exponents. We have to evaluate the expression using exponents. Notice it is an algebraic expression. So look at it. We have C is 15 and D is 12. We're supposed to evaluate in the parentheses there CD and then squared. So I have to plug in the 15 for the C. I have to plug in the 12 for the D. And then I have to take 15 times the 12, which is 180, and then I square it, which gives me the 32,400. Here's another example. If you'd like to look at evaluating the expression with exponents, here we have CD squared. Now notice, this is different than example A. In example A, we had in parentheses both the C and the D. Here we have no parentheses. So in this case, you'll notice the square or the power only goes with the D, not with the C. So I take the exponent then first. 12 squared is 144. Then I multiply it by the 15. The difference again between letter A, the example that we just looked at, and this one is the placement of the parentheses. In this one, the exponent only goes with the D, whereas in example A, it went with both the A of the C and the D. All right, here is another example of simplifying an expression. Again, on this one though, we have several different grouping symbols. So I wanted you to kind of look at this. Remember, in the order of operation, we always do parentheses first. In this case though, you're going to see parentheses and you see brackets. We do the parentheses first, then the brackets, and then if there was a third grouping symbol, it would be braces. So notice inside we do the 13 minus the 7, see, which gives us a 6. Then we square the 6, which gives us 36, and then we divide it by 3, which gave us 12. So remember, you have to do what's in the innermost parentheses first. But then, like I said, once we get the 6 squared, you've got to take care of that squared which is 36, and then you do the 36 divided by 3. You may want to kind of practice that one on your own. The last example that I want us to look at here is where you have to use order of operations sometimes, again with formulas. And so here we have an example here of a trapezoid. A neighborhood association turned a vacant lot into a park. The park is shaped like a trapezoid. Use this formula. This is area of a trapezoid. Area equals the height times, and then you see the quantity, base 1 plus base 2 divided by 2, close that quantity. And we're supposed to find the area of this park. Now, again, you're going to have to use the values to plug in. The height you see is 130. We see the base 1, that means just the top there. The top base is 100 feet. And then we have the bottom base, you see, which is 200 feet. So, plugging into the formula, we've plugged in place of the h, you'll notice we put the 130. For the top base, we put 100. For the bottom base, we put 200. 100 for the top base, 200 for the bottom base, and then 2 for that denominator. And then notice what we have to do. 100 plus 200, do what's in parentheses first, which gives me 300. Then I have to divide it by 2 because that's still in parentheses, which gives me the 150. And then I take the 130 times the 150, which gives me 19,500 square feet for the area of that trapezoidal park. That's all I have today. Thank you so much for listening.